my dad had taught me how to siphon petrol. I've never vomited out my nose before. I fell through the river, straight up the rear end of a parked car.
All right, so tell everyone your name and tell us what you would have been called if you were born a girl.
My name's Warwick Tomlinson, and my mother has this wonderful idea to call me Blair for a girl.
Blair?
Blair, I thought that was a boy's name. In fact, they had friends at school called Blair, they were boys. So
It's kind of cool, though.
yeah,
Kind of cool, giving
go both ways. So.
giving a girl a name, a boy's name. It works, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, Warwick, you and I know each other. We've known each other for quite some time.
Yep.
We're a similar age.
Yep.
And as I mentioned to you, I think we should do something a little bit fun. I've got a jar of questions.
Yep.
That talks about what life was like when, at the time that you and I were growing up.
Yep.
And I think we should do a 10-question challenge. Are you up for that?
I'm up for that.
Nice.
Let's do that.
So we'll pull out a question, and they're all random, so I don't know what's gonna come out. And you answer the question, and then I will answer. It's just a fun thing, and people are going to get a sense of what it was like growing up. And I sort of say I grew up in the 80s because, that was when I was in my formative years. I was still a toddler in the 70s.
Yeah.
You were probably the same.
I was born in the 70s, so yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, me too. So let's do it. And shall we do a 10-question challenge?
Yeah, I reckon. Why not? Yep.
Nice. First question is, what's the dumbest injury you suffered as a child?
So we were playing backyard cricket and with some friends at a friend's place. And the idea with backyard cricket is if you put the ball on the roof, you're out, then you have to go and get it. And so I climbed on the roof, and I've always been a big lad. Always. And it was one of those plastic roofs, and I fell through the roof. I heard it crack and break, and I fell with my back. It was just one of those freak things onto a freestanding tap right at the base of my spine. And so, yeah, that hurt for a while, and there was a doctor visit. But, yeah.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, so those plastic kind of... was it a see-through kind of...
Yeah, it was a see-through,
plastic?
Yeah. And I thought, I'll be right. I'll just stand there. No.
Nope. Oh, mate. Well, if I think about my dumbest injury, so I was in primary school, so I probably would have been like 9. And of course, back then, we all rode to school.
Yeah.
And I was on my push bike. It was a brown lowline. Brown lowline push bike.
I had a blue one.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I was following behind a couple of other guys that I used to ride to school with.
Yeah.
And here's the dumb part. I was looking at the rear wheel of the bike in front of you.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and I was thinking, what would happen? What would happen if I touched the front wheel of my bike to the rear wheel? And of course, this was before I had done any kind of physics subjects in school, right?
Yeah.
So anyone that has a basic understanding of physics knows exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm like 9 years old, looking at the rear tire of this bike, thinking, what's going to happen if I touch my front wheel to the rear wheel of this bike? So I did. I rode forward and touched the front wheel to the rear wheel of the bike. Physics took over.
Yep.
My front wheel effectively stopped, forcing the rear of the bike with me on it to push forward, throwing me off the bike. So I throw my hands out instinctively, as you do.
Yeah.
And the dumbest injury was scraping all of the skin off the palms of my hands to stop myself. And it took weeks to heal because, of course, you move your hands so much.
All the time, yeah.
So, and it was painful, and it was, dumbest injury. And I'm happy to say I've learned a bit more about physics since then, so I don't have any more of those intrusive thoughts.
When I first got my first 10-speed biking down the road, I thought I was all that. And I was actually on my own for once because I was always biking school with my mates. And for some reason, I decided it would be a good idea to look down at the back cog to see what was happening, what I wasn't changing gear.
Oh,
And
yeah.
straight up the rear end of a parked car.
Oh, no.
And so ended up on the boot,
Yeah.
wondering what the hell had happened. And of course, being a male, the first thing you do is look to see if anyone saw anything.
Yeah.
And
How old were you?
Oh, like 14, 15.
Yeah, totally. So you're really aware of what other people
Totally,
think.
yeah. And you go, oh, I'll just pick myself up and just take off, and yeah, this never happened.
Let's get question 2. No, I'm gonna get a better one. Yeah, have a girl fossick around here. What was your greatest childhood invention that never caught on?
See, there's a very fine line between greatest and dumbest. In my infinite wisdom, again, the great stories start with, I was about 14 or 15.
Yeah.
And you go, I wonder what would happen. And drinking Coke through a straw was an awesomely cool thing because all the bubbles are just made bigger and more of them.
Yeah.
And so I thought, wonder if I can drink, air quotes, Coke through a straw up my nose. And I've never vomited out my nose before, but my friends saw, and they thought it was hilarious. Yeah, but it never caught on, I don't think, as a way of drinking Coke.
Drinking Coke, snorting. Well, you know, there is some people that do snort Coke.
They do snort Coke, but different kind of Coke.
Yeah. Well, if I'm thinking about, I'm not sure I ever really invented anything per se, but you remember pet rocks?
Yes.
That seemed to catch on and made millions, you know.
Yeah.
That wasn't one of my inventions, but I had what I call pet jar of dirt. There was never any marketing done for it, but here's what it was. I was about 8. As an 8-year-old's brain works, I filled this jar with dirt.
Yeah.
Okay? We didn't have a lot of toys, clearly.
Yeah.
Filled this jar with dirt. All right. So I think it was a coffee jar with a plastic lid.
Yep. So,
and then I tended to tried to put a string or rope around the neck of it, and decided that I would try and drag it around like a pet, like a dog, or, you know, a dog. And again, you know, I hadn't done any kind of science or physics, so not understanding that if I dragged this jar of dirt around, you know, and this could still catch on. If I dragged this jar of dirt around on the concrete, it was eventually just going to smash, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah, you dodge dirt everywhere.
Yeah, so pet jar of dirt. Yeah, it never really caught on. Right, all right. Question number 3. What's something that your parents let you do that would horrify parents today?
Basically anything. I was a middle child. I've got older sister, older brother, and the younger sister. And my older brother and my younger sister required a lot of attention all the time. So basically I was kind of left to my own devices, big sister and I. And we sort of just did whatever we wanted. And I remember watching... See, parents should never let you watch programs like MacGyver, especially as a teenage male, because you get all these wonderful ideas. And I watched him build a bomb out of something.
Yeah.
So I decided, because my dad had taught me how to siphon petrol for some obscene reason I still don't understand.
Yeah.
So I siphoned the petrol from the lawnmower, and then I decided that I'd make a bomb out of a milk bottle full of petrol from the lawnmower. And all it did was catch fire, and I'd happened over by the hedge, and as it caught fire on a lovely summer evening, the whole hedge caught fire as well. And the fire brigade were called, and yes, and they put out the hedge. So,
cool.
But
was it macrocarpa type heads of it?
That was one of those weird sort of like Hebe type things, and so it probably needed to be burnt down anyway. But yeah, there's some programs I think that need to be vetted by parents.
You think? Well, in terms of what's something my parents let me do back then, like we were given so much free rein as kids to just go out for the day on our bikes and not show up until dinner time. Yeah, you would have been the same.
Yeah, when the streetlights go on, that's when you know you've got to go home.
Yeah, exactly. But until then, you're free to. I don't think our parents really understood how far we rode.
No, because the only way you found out where your friends were when their bikes were.
Yes, exactly. Not like these days. Oh, you
Yeah.
just phone them. Yeah.
Where you're going to be tracked and stuff like that. But yeah, you're right. It's sort of, if we weren't playing some weird game of whatever on the street,
Yeah.
we were off having some sort of misadventure somewhere.
Yeah. So I remember on Saturdays, like packing a rudimentary lunch. Whatever kids put together. I think I might have boiled a couple of eggs or something.
Yeah.
Sticking them in my little bag that was on my bike, and then me and my brother were, out hiking around the whole day. I don't think I drank water once.
No.
I don't
No.
know how I did that. I need to slow your haircut down or speed up the questions. What's the first thing that you bought with your own money?
Oh, I had a paper run.
Oh, yeah.
I used to work for the Christchurch staff.
Yeah.
And it was Monday through Saturday. I had Sunday off, which was nice.
Yeah.
But I think I got paid $20 a week. Huge money. And I decided I was going to buy myself a mountain bike. Fiery red one. It was awesome.
Yeah.
And it was on lay-by forever. We're talking like a year sort of thing.
Yeah.
And I finally got it. And I was really proud of this thing. And I had it for about 6 months. And some muggle nicked it.
Oh, no.
Really angry, really dirty about it.
Right. Yeah. Mine was probably when I started working at 17, I think.
Mm-hmm.
The first thing I bought was a really good stereo. Because music was my life,
Yeah.
Back then it was everything. Well, it still is today, but yeah. When you're young and impressionable, music just fuels you, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So being able to buy the latest, I don't know whether it was the greatest stuff. It was a Sanyo.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was good, Yeah, being able to buy my own stereo system. It was cool. All right, question 5, actually. We're getting through them. This question is, how did you pass the time before smartphones? So obviously, I guess what it's referring to is kids these days have smartphones.
Yeah.
What did we do?
What do we do? Whatever popped into our head at the time, I think. Like we said before, you used to go home, dump your bag, dump your stuff, and go out. I don't think we ever actually did anything like decent. We just sort of mucked around, but we did it all together. And everyone just thought the same way, like, let's go do this. Okay, why not?
And if I think about before smartphones, I'm thinking the first thing I'd do, because my best friend growing up, we didn't go to the same school. So the first thing I'd do when I got home is pick up the phone and call.
Yeah.
And then we would talk on the phone for a couple of hours.
Yeah.
And as we decompressed about the day, I don't know what we talked about, but we did it every day,
Yeah.
until eventually suddenly girls were interesting. And then I talked on the phone to girls. Question number 6. What made you think that a family was rich when you were growing up?
I guess when they or their kids, my friends, had things that I thought I needed as well. So, more than one car or a computer, nicer house.
In terms of me, what made me think people were rich? So I literally, I would say by today's standards and even by standards back then, I grew up in pretty much abject poverty.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the single mum on the domestic services benefit, and there was just too much left at the end of the money, so to speak. We had a good set of school clothes, not much else, So to me, anyone that had nice sneakers or talked about watching the latest video or whatever, to me anything like that sort of showed or suggested that people were rich. This kind of might relate to some other things we've already said, but what's your biggest "this seemed like a good idea at the time" moment? What have you got for us?
There are so many. My friend Rob and I were at Easter camp in Christchurch the first time. I think we were both 14.
Yeah.
And we're at Easter camp and they were doing the rules and the guideline, the boundaries, and you can't go past there. And I don't remember hearing anything after that because I looked at Rob as you were going to go there, aren't we? He goes, absolutely. And I said, don't go past the tree line because that's out of bounds. So we went there, we found this flying fox. And it was really cool. And I thought, oh, no one knows use this. And halfway down the track is this tree growing in the middle of the track. And of course, like I said before about physics, I don't really have a grip on physics then. But I figured surely, if we're going down this flying fox, surely we can go around the tree. So we sort of stood there and said, who's going to go first? And Rob goes, me. I said, fair enough. And so the mission was to go down the flying fox and go around this tree. But physics doesn't work like that. And he hit it with his face. Down. And I ran over and said, how was that? He goes, terrible. I smacked my face and it hurts. I said, right, my turn. And I think we did it about 4 or 5 times before we realized it actually wasn't going to happen. So
I think a lot of issues that came up when we were young were due to our lack of knowledge of physics.
yes.
You know? I think we learn those on the job, don't we?
And then the man after was it the law of unintended consequences?
No, the law of unintended consequences. Yeah. What was mine? Mine was I was about 6, and down the side of our house we had this 3 metre mackerel carpet hedge that we always climbed up into, me and my brother. And this particular day, my brother had convinced me, he was older, a couple of years older, he convinced me that it would be a safe thing to jump out of the hedge onto the house below.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so being 6-year-old and trusting my brother, I was like, oh, sweet. Oh, I'll just jump out of the hedge. It'll be a quick way down. So, again, not understanding the law of physics, I jumped out of the hedge and splat on the grass, erupted into tears because of the pain. And, my mother comes rushing it out from inside, and my brother disappeared, I think.
Yeah.
And fortunately, being 6, you kind of bounce rather than break.
Yeah.
And so my bones were quite soft, I suppose, still. And thankfully, I hadn't broken anything. But it just hurt like, son of a bitch for a 6-year-old.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and I think that was the point where I stopped trusting my brother. Started trusting physics, mate.
Yeah.
And the next question. So we are up to number 8 now. Number 8. The question is, would you have rather been a teenager in 1986 or 2026?
I think 86.
Yeah.
Things were a lot more relaxed then, and we had a lot of fun. And now it's reliant on, as I said before, about phones and devices and stuff like that.
Yeah, I tend to agree on that one. And I guess it's kind of a thing because in 30 or 40 years, you probably ask your kids that, and they'll probably say, oh, it was better to grow up in 2026 than it was in, 2066. Simply because of that nostalgia.
Yeah.
And the way that the world moves on, isn't it? I do feel like we had a lot more adventure and a lot more experimenting with life, I guess, and pushing boundaries and stuff a bit more, I could be wrong.
We always found what those boundaries were after a while as well, and you knew after a while you don't bounce. And
that's right.
Yeah, if I do that, maybe that will end badly.
And also, too, these days there seem to be a lot more young people that are so anxious.
Yes.
And there's obviously, whether it's school or pressure from social media or whatever to be someone immediately, rather than going through that process of youth. Oh, so we're up to number 9 now. What was your family's version of being fancy?
Going to parties and family birthday parties and dressing up.
It was more sort of way of showing that you were a bit fancy.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was going to say, probably a slightly different tangent, I guess, but if we had a street to Viennetta in the house.
Oh, yes, I remember those.
You remember streets to Viennetta?
Yeah.
And of course, it was folded ice cream and had brown chocolate on top, and it came in the cardboard box and you sliced it.
Yep.
Streets Viennetta, right? But looking at Streets Viennetta now, and I know that things change over the years, Streets Viennetta probably didn't look like what it used to.
Yeah.
But it's really just vanilla ice cream folded in a
It's
flat
folded
tray,
with yeah.
and got this brief dusting of brown on top. You know?
That's food. I remember ice cream sandwiches as well.
Oh yeah, with the
Wafers.
the pink wafer.
Yeah. They were
They
cool.
were pretty cool. Oh, I wouldn't say I ever felt they were fancy.
No,
but
not
they
fancy,
Were,
but
they were a favourite.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were definitely a
Because
favourite.
we didn't have syrup all the time.
Yeah.
Very rarely.
Streets Viennetta. So this is question number 10. What's a product from the old days that you miss that doesn't exist anymore?
Mellow yellows, isn't it?
Mellow yellow.
Mellow yellow. And that just, even saying it takes me back. But even
Mellow yellow was the bomb, wasn't it?
It was awesome.
I mean, remember it was in the actual tin.
Yes, in
Yeah.
the proper tin, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you got to open a thing at a break, and it's like, how the hell am I supposed to get into this?
And you're punching into it with nails.
Yeah.
What was mine? The thing doesn't exist these days. I haven't seen them, and they may well still exist. But Spooky Dokies,
Oh yes, I remember Spooky Dokie. Yeah,
yeah, on the spokes of the wheel, or that, which reminds me of jamming a card into the wheels and being.
I was just gonna say, do you remember back in the day, and on bikes for the light on the front had that little thing that you used to put on your tire. You push it over onto your tire, and it make the light go.
Oh, the dynamo.
Dynamos, stinky. That's what it's called. Yeah, I
How
remember that.
helpful were they? Because they have to be so tight.
Yeah.
And then you get to a intersection and they wouldn't work. They'd stop.
I watched my friend one day, and he was coming down a hill, going probably a bit too fast with his dynamo on, because why not?
Yeah.
And I don't know what happened, it must have loosened on, but it got stuck. And instead of hitting it on the tyre, it went in the rim and stopped the thing. And it's hilarious. It's great.
Brilliant. Oh, well, I think we have a great cut here with no fringe. You'd agree?
Yep, definitely.
Yep.
Yep.
And we've done a nice taper from 0 back here. They've been up into a half.
Awesome.
So that's with you a few good months of wear. Knowing your
Brilliant.
Telling you
Rose, yep.
But I think to finish off, what advice would you give your younger self?
Just enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
And enjoy the innocence. Because that's what it was. It was innocence, completely. And don't wish it away.
We had a habit of doing that, didn't we?
Yeah. I wish I was grown up or...
Which I was older.
Yeah.
The advice I'd give myself would be probably when I was, sort of 18, saying don't spend all of your money every week at the pub on Friday night. I hate to think how much money I wasted. And I mean, I could have bought a house when I was, in my early 20s.
Yep.
I never thought about the future, especially when it came to finances. And I think that's the one thing I'll tell myself is, be a bit more respectful with money. And yeah. But I mean, the Loaded Hog and Timaru, they got most of it every week. So, wow, there we go.
That is awesome.
You happy with your cup?
I'm very happy.
Yep. Nice. Yeah, you look good, man.
Yep.